Joining me now is Dr. Mads Gilbert, a professor of emergency medicine and a senior consultant for the Clinic of Emergency Medicine at the University Hospital of North Norway. Doctor, it's good to see you. You have worked extensively in Gaza over the years. You've been working in the region since 1982, I think, and you've been in contact with colleagues there. What have you heard about the Israeli attacks on the Kamal Adwan hospital in the north and the impact of those attacks?
Well, all the three hospitals in northern Gaza, Kamal Adwan and العودة hospital and the Indonesian hospital, have been severely sieged and attacked by the Israeli occupation forces. And the attack and the entry of military forces into the Kamal Adwan hospital has been very dramatic. And we have all, I guess, heard about the medical director, Dr. Hussam, who is defending his patients and who was experiencing the tragic loss of his own son, who was shot at the gate of the hospital. Currently, the situation in Kamal Adwan is desperate. They have at least 145 trauma patients in the hospital. They have lost the solar panel electricity. The oxygen machine, a concentration machine, has been shot to pieces by the Israeli forces, and they have only 2 doctors left, used to be 57, and they have only 7 nurses, used to be 70 nurses. So the situation is beyond dramatic, it's beyond desperate.
Often we hear the broad strokes of what's going on, the casualty totals, the mass destruction. We were just looking at some of that and so on. But you do know people there. You work shoulder to shoulder alongside them. You just mentioned the director of the hospital, Dr. Hussam Abu Sathia. I want to play something that was recorded with him in the last day or so. Let's listen.
حرقوا قلوبنا على المستشفى، حرقوها بالكامل، قتلوا ابني عشان احنا بنقدم رسالة إنسانية. أولادنا يقتلوا ودفنت ابني في صالة المستشفى. على هذا كله.
Now, you know Dr. Hussam personally. What's it like hearing that, what he went through, his emotion there, and seeing what's going on, particularly in the north, where Palestinians are being displaced in the tens of thousands?
I'll be honest with you, it is unbearable, and I have to contain myself not to start weeping. But there are 2 sides to this recording. One is, of course, the personal loss and the immense grief that he is feeling, not only for his son, but for his hospital and for his patients and staff. The other side is the bravery of the Palestinian healthcare workers who are standing tall under these immense Israeli attacks, which have been going on now for a year and for much longer than that, because the Israeli army, the occupation army, has a modus operandi to attack healthcare. I just read through the last expert report to the United Nations General Assembly on the attacks on healthcare. And they sum up that the Israeli occupation forces from 7th of October until the 1st of August this year have perpetrated more than 1,000 attacks on healthcare in Gaza and the West Bank, and they have killed more than 800 healthcare workers. So unfortunately, his story is not a single story. It is one of many stories. In fact, the attacks on healthcare are so common that the report states that, quote, the Israelis have plans and procedures to attack healthcare, unquote. And this, of course, is a war crime. Healthcare and patients and staff should be protected by international law, and they should be a part of the civilian society where you could feel safe. In Gaza, they are targets. And that is absolutely a war crime.
As I say, you've been there many times. I've been there many times myself as well. There are the images now in video of Palestinians being forced en masse from the north. Do you fear, as many do, that this is a deliberate operation underway to clear the northern sector of all Palestinians, cram them permanently in the south? What do you fear is going on?
No, absolutely. You're absolutely right. And I mean, you don't have to be neither a military expert nor a geographer to understand that the ambition of the Israeli occupation forces is ethnically cleansing of North Gaza and reoccupying North Gaza. This is part of the occupation project of the State of Israel. I mean, it's all about land grab. It's all about expanding the occupation of Palestine. I'm a doctor. I'm not used to treat symptoms. If you come to me with pain, I have to find the reason for the pain and not just give you some painkiller. And the root cause of the misery we see in the medical sector, the root cause of all the ill health we see in Gaza and in the West Bank is the illegal occupation of Palestine. And that has to be dealt with. We cannot just patch up with humanitarian help and more field hospitals and some bandages. We have to solve the root cause. And that will not be solved by itself. It has to take more international power, more international actions to safeguard the security and the right to health of the Palestinian people, be it in the West Bank or in Gaza. This cannot go on.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I wish we had more time. We don't. I appreciate you, Dr. Mads Gilbert, and the work you've done in Gaza. And I know you're in touch with people there who you know very well. Dr. Gilbert, thank you so much.